welcome to the Jan vlog. It said, welcome to the Jan vlog. Get it? Welcome to the girls' room from the Amanda show. God, I'm so old. Jan Agaton, one of the bright spots of my life, and also one of the biggest icons, I think, on booktube and on YouTube in general. I first cursed her with my presence a couple years ago whenever she came across my dash with her vlog on You've Reached Sam. I didn't watch that video. I went to her channel and watched a couple other videos, and I was like, wow, I've never seen a booktuber that looks like me like this, like in terms of the alternative style and stuff like that. Her music taste, oh my god. And so I started leaving all kinds of cursed comments about her aesthetic and her music taste and all kinds of stuff, and somehow we became friends. She thinks I'm funny for some reason. I mean, whatever floats your bat-ridden boat, but that sounded so insulting. But do you see what I mean? But it is Jan's birthday on July 6th. I figured since it's her birthday, I would surprise her with a little reading vlog themed around her. She has so many books that I'm interested in. Like I said, she's opened up my mind palace rose of brimstone to so many new friends, so many new authors, so many new books that she's just read and loved, and I'm like, hey, what the hell? I want to love them. So that's what we're going to be doing this week. That's what we're going to be doing this whole vlog. I'm going to try and embody Jan's spirit as much as I can. Just go do Jan things like getting her favorite kind of coffee, supporting my local library, reading a bunch of the books that she loves, and especially that I have recently come into my possession. I also asked Jan for some books that she personally wants to see me read. If I can get my hands on them, we're going to be reading those too. While things are going to vary between what I have in my owned TBR and the library, I can tell you the tentative TBR that we have already. First of all, Adelaide. No explanation needed. This is one of Jan's favorite books, like, of all time. She absolutely adores this. It's sort of a coming-of-age, love, lost, finding yourself, mid-20s, heartbreak sort of thing. We'll see how I like this, because me and litfic don't tend to get along. I tend to find the characters annoying, and also just the stories having no point at the end. But I am hopeful for this. I'm very hopeful, because the synopsis intrigues me. I love a good heartbreak story. I love a good emo girl story, so we'll see. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Jan actually got me this for my birthday off my wish list because she said, of course, I need to own it. So, of course, I need to read it because I've been telling her that I would and I've been meaning to. Now I have no excuse. So, Jan, you light of my life, I will read it for you. A History of Fear. This one I have been spoilers! Have been uber-duper excited about. I got it from my library a while ago, but then they lost the hold, I think probably because of funding cuts to Libby. But I loved what I read, and so I was very happy to actually find this for my birthday. I find it for my birthday. I got it for my birthday. All you need to know is the devil is in Scotland. He's been there, but now he's back. And this time, it's personal. Pack Up the Moon. This has been haunting me ever since I saw Jan and Joey read it and cry their eyes out. Basically, it follows a couple, and the wife passes away due to an illness, due to a terminal illness, and it's sort of like P.S. I Love You reminiscent, where after she dies, she has letters that she's pre-written and sends them to him like every month for the year after she's passed away. I know it's gonna rip my heart out. I know it is. So let's get our hearts ripped out together. Now, if I can find them at my library, a couple of other hopefuls that I have are Mayfly. They probably don't have it in print because I'm in deep south rural Tennessee, but I probably find it on Libby, I hope. Another one of Jan's favorites, Unhinged Females, Serial Killings. I'm all about it. Fear the Flames, again, another Jan favorite. And I love fantasy. I love romantasy. So I'm hopeful for this one as well, because I've heard such good things about it from people. And hey, a girl loves romantasy sometimes. I don't just love grimdark. Mostly. The next one is Blood Like Mine. This came from one of Jan's recommendations she gave to me personally. I am curious about this one. It's a mother-daughter vampire story. Something they're on the run from somebody or something. Hell yeah, color me intrigued. Then the next two hopefuls I have are Bat Eater, which I'm hoping my hold will come in on Libby in time. Kylie Baker is, of course, one of Jan's favorite authors, and I picked up the Keeper of Night duology because of Jan's recommendation, and I absolutely had a very fun time with it, especially the folklore aspect, because your girl loves Japanese mythology and folklore. It's just been one of my hyperfixations for a very long time. And also just reapers and demons in general. So of course I was gonna love that duology. I've heard amazing things about Bat Eater, about this new novel, and so yeah, hell yeah, I want to read it. Lastly, Home Before Dark. This is a Riley Sager that I personally asked Jan about because when I was peeking around my library, sort of getting a notion of what books they had and what they didn't, I asked her what her favorite Riley Sagers were, or what Riley Sagers she would want to see me read. They didn't have the one that she was recommending to me, but they had her favorite, which is Home Before Dark. I hope that it's still there when I go back to get it, but they do have it. So whether or not I'll have to get an ebook copy or whatever, Home Before Dark is also on the list. Now I'm gonna do the Jan thing of, geez, 9 minutes, this intro is way too long. We're gonna get started. Hi, buddy. You're quite large. I love you. You wanna come with me to harass a turtle in my field? Cool. Me too. I'm not actually gonna harass them, but I just want to get a look at him. He's huge. He's huge. Look how huge this guy is. Look at this dude. Look at this dude. Stormy, no! Stormy! 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 Stormy, no! Stormy! Leave the turtle alone. I don't have any food for you. Leave me alone. Leave me be. Look, Stormy. Oh, you've got flies all over you, poor boy. Hey, buddy. Oh, you're an absolute unit. Oh, I love you. Good morning. It is morning 1 of living like Jan, living like Larry. No, I'm nerdy Jan. No, I'm nerdy Jan. Like Jan, I tried to wake up early to read. Jan likes to wake up early when she can to read. I'm talking like 4, 5, snarf. I tried waking up at 6. And usually I can wake up at 6. Usually, in fact, I usually tend to wake up at 5:30 when I don't plan to. I just do. I think it's all the ingrained times in me from when I was a child that I had to wake up at 5:30 to go to work with my mom. But I woke up at 6, fell back asleep for a few minutes, woke up at like 6:10, and now I'm up. I scrolled on my phone a little bit, but I'm up now, and it's before 6:30. So today is kind of a busy, weird day. I have a lot of editing to do. I don't think I'm going to do any filming today just because it's going to be such a weird day, except for filming this vlog. I'm probably going to be doing a lot of scripting. I need to work out. I need to read. Filming, working out, reading, those are all things Jan does. So we're good there. Now I just need to add some Jan flair throughout the day. And because it's such a weird day, I gotta be even weirder. Specifically ones I'm going to be focusing on today, and trust me, we do have a big smorgasbord of different offerings for this video. The first one that we have is We Eat Our Own by Kia Wilson. I got this from my library. If you're wondering why I'm holding it like this, it's because I got it from my library and I don't want you to dox me. So this is a book, this is a short horror novel. It's giving horror movie, but make it more arty. So far, it's kind of written in second person, and it's talking about how it's 1979, and you're an actor, that you go audition for this sketchy film in the middle of the rainforest, and there's a lot of Italians everywhere. It's an Italian director, and I think it's loosely based off the real story of Cannibal Holocaust, I think, which I think is that real movie where there was, like, actual death, right? I'm excited about it. It seems fun. Weird short horror, right up Jan's alley. So, bada bing, bada boom. Especially books that I haven't heard anyone talk about. See, Jan, you have influenced me in a good way. Actually getting to some books that Jan herself has influenced me on. Adelaide by Genevieve Wheeler. I started this a little while ago. I didn't get very far in it just because I was reading so much at once. I got to chapter 1. I'm on page 9. And this is actually a gift from Ashlyn from the Lair. So thank you, Ashlyn. I promised Jan I'm going to read this in this vlog. Now, this next one, Jan is either going to kind of laugh at me or she's going to be like, ooh, Pack Up the Moon by Kristen Higgins. So I think that there's a good chance that this will probably make me cry. But you know what? Sometimes it's good to make ourselves cry. Sometimes it's good. It's healthy. It's healthy. The path to happiness doesn't follow a straight line. Right now, though, I'm gonna get up and make myself some coffee. Very Jan thing to do. No one else does that but Jan. And make myself some breakfast, and we're gonna get started on reading, because that's why the hell we woke up early. Okay. Actually, I somewhat lied to you. I want to go ahead and tell you about another little book that I had, because a lot of this is like horror and sad girl lit, but I want to talk to you about another library book that I have, because this vlog is also going to be filled with library books. Because like Jan, I know no impulse control when it comes to library holds and loans. We have Take a Hint, Dani Brown, the second book in the Brown sisters romance. I think it's a trilogy. I think this is Jan's favorite in the series, so I'm excited to read it, and I also just need to get to it because I recently read Chloe Brown, loved it. It was 5 stars, and when I saw my library had this, I was like, perfect. So
this is going to be a 24-hour readathon vlog. First of all, this is going to be one of my chill 24-hour readathons, okay? Just first and foremost, getting that out of the way. We are going to be sleeping. It's Tuesday night. I did not get a lot of sleep last night. I have my day off tomorrow. It's 9 p.m.
He's around here somewhere. There he goes!
I low-key think that the forces of the cosmos knew I was doing a Jan vlog, because it was super sunny and pretty this morning, and it's not that way anymore. Wow, that's gorgeous, low-key. I need to stop saying that. Disgusting. Jan would never do something like that, but I'm just a lowly peasant. But look at how gorgeous that is, the dark cloud versus the sunny cloud. Wow. Yeah, now it's overcast and, like, thunderstorms on the horizon, so perfect Jan weather. She thrives in this weather. I do not. I need sunshine. But this is a Jan vlog. This is her vlog for her birthday, so I guess it's fitting. I guess I can let it pass. It's perfect reading weather, so I can't complain. But I'm going to. But I won't. I think I set the vibes perfectly in my house. I cut the candles off, but with the thunderstorm and the scream ambiance, which is on mute right now while I'm talking. Thank you, whoever just texted me. I think it was Bree. Sorry, Bree. See? Did you hear that thunder? That was nothing in my house. That was thunder. Perfect ambiance. I don't even need the scream ambiance up really loud. I just have the thunderstorm and the scream ambiance in the background. No lights on except for in a couple rooms. This is perfect vibes. I'm gonna get my book. Hi, Stormy. I'll feed you when I come back. I gotta go to town. So I am heading to town to pick up some of Hot Rod's medicine, and on the way there, I'm doing that. That way I can go to town and get it before the vet's office closes, because I don't know if my cousin is coming home. I don't know if she has plans tonight, so I can't just ask her to bring it to me, or I won't, rather. So I'm gonna go see her at work. She's probably going to be very busy and I won't actually see her, but I will be going to her work. They close at 5, and that's about the time that I'm planning to leave here to go to my parents' house. So it would just be easier for me to go and get it now and come back and have time to work out without panicking about, like, I got to be done at this certain time, I got to leave at this certain time, blah, 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 blah. So that's what we're going to do. Where's my son? Where'd he go? There he is. There's grandfather. He's mad because I haven't fed him yet, but look at all the grass that he has in the world. Yeah, look at him being sassy. He's got all the grass in the world. I'll feed him a little bit when I come back. But for now, I'm gonna head into town for another storm starts. I'm wearing my Orthodox hat. By the way, Nashville Hardcore. Orthodox released a new album. If you're into hardcore music and you haven't heard of Orthodox, check them out. But I'm gonna be listening to some Jan music on the way to town. Me and Jan actually share shocking, I know. Me and Jan actually share a lot in music taste, but I'm gonna be bumping some quintessential Jans. Story So Far, Knuckle Puck, I don't know what I was thinking there. Knuckle Puck, Story So Far, Pierce the Veil, Mayday Parade. We're just gonna go classic with it. And I'm trying to keep Stormy in frame as much as possible for Jan. Alright, let's go. Enough yapping. What are you doing? Oh, the flies are bothering him. The wet weather makes him horrible. Hi, pretty boy. Okay. I'll go to town and I'll see you when I get back. I love you so much. There's your little snack, princess. Are you happy? Are you happy? You good boy? Will you smile for the camera? Honestly, good enough. No. I'm being serious. I'm not just saying it. No. No. I haven't updated since Friday. It is now Monday morning, midnight 16, and I just finished We Eat Our Own. I've finished several other books between when I last spoke to you and now. And I know the audio is horrible, so I'll make this quick, but I have to talk about this. 2.5 stars. Not offensively horrible, not anything particularly wrong, but what did I just read? I wanted to love it. I wanted it to be weird. I wanted to love me a weird horror. It is really, really lit ficky more than horror. It is lit ficky horror. And I knew that it was inspired by Cannibal Holocaust just by reading it. And then sure enough, in the author's acknowledgments, they say, like, oh, it's Cannibal Holocaust and stuff like that. So if you look up the lore of that, you basically know what happens. Was it interesting? Yes. Was it at all what I expected? No. And so in that, I'm disappointed. The writing itself, the descriptions, great. The descriptions were great. The prose, great. I was just so bored. It felt like a task to read this book. And I fully blame it, not that the story was bad, but just that it isn't what I was expecting. So it was good, but I was just like, when are we going to get to the horror? The horror was just that, like, it felt too much like a character study and not enough plot, and I'm a character girly, so if I'm saying too much character, and also it was about interweaving threads of these characters and how it all comes together, and my favorite author is Dumas, the king of characters interweaving together. So again, if you know that I'm saying that, I wanted to be a 3-star, but there's a dog death, a very violent dog death, which I get that it's a horror, and it's not gratuitous on page, but it is mentioned, and I'm like, and other things that I'm just like, It just felt pointless. I think that's it. By the time this book wrapped up, I'm like, this felt like an art film. So in that, it accomplished its goal. It felt like an art film where it was pointless, and what am I doing with my time here? The author, I can say, did a great job. If I had known that it was mainly lit fic with scary elements in it, I probably would have enjoyed it a lot more, but it literally felt like a task to read this book. So I'm just disappointed in myself. I'm glad I tried it. It was interesting. I just did not like the execution of it. The prompt, yes. Did not like the execution though. And it got a little heavy and crazy towards the end with the meta breaking the fourth wall with it. Because you're painting this character as insane throughout this whole book, and then all of a sudden he has a moment of rationality and humanity during like this big climax, and then it turns out like, oh, all this stuff is flipped on its head versus what you thought actually happened and all stuff. It just, like, it was not satisfying whatsoever. So 2.5. Good night. I finished several other books, but I just had to get that out of my system. Good morning. I woke up like an hour ago. I have drunk my giant big mug of coffee, always Jan coated, and I just finished watching Jan's latest forest productivity vlog, which I suggested should be named Forest Flourish or Flourish the Forest. I just want to put that on record. What I wanted to say is I just finished that vlog while I was drinking my coffee, and she ended that vlog on my birthday, June 11th. Jan, if you're obsessed with me, just say so. I finished 2 books last night. One of them I already told you about, We Eat Our Own. The other is Love in the Time of Serial Killers by Alicia Thompson. This I got for my birthday, ironically enough, just talking about that. And it ended up being a 4-star, a very high 4-star for me. Oh wow, I ironically realized that I was mimicking the cover. It would have been a 5-star. Like, honestly, it's become a new favorite already, because about 100 pages in, I started annotating because I could not stop myself. It would have been a 5-star except for the fact that I didn't fully buy how quickly they fell in love. I know that insta love is possible, and ironically I'm saying that in a Jan video considering her and Joey, but I personally didn't buy it fully. Like, I didn't buy the speed at which it happened. If it would have went over a little bit longer or been a little bit more extrapolated, maybe I would have bought a little bit more into it. I do love them as a couple. I think that over time they would have gotten together the way that they did. Like, I think it would have all worked out, which is why I'm not mad about it. But I was like, feels a little bit rushed into this, but also I'm single. What the hell do I know, you know? But I love Sam, the male MC. I love him so much. He's so freaking funny and just goofy and shy. I love a shy, sassy, snarky boy. I love it. This main character, too, she is so much like me, it's not even funny. Literally things that she says throughout the book, I was like, I'm 99.9% sure I have said that exact thing. And the way that she just blurts out unhinged things and leaves people with that, me. I am the girl that told someone that their album sounded like hardcore whack-a-mole and then walked away. So I felt seen, I felt validated, I loved her so much, and I underlined so much of where I was like, relatable, because the way, again, that she just drops lore on people and then walks away, and she's self-conscious about it, but she also can't stop it, but she's also like, this is who I am, this is real, this is me, you know, valid, and me. So I absolutely love that part of it. That's what gave this a really high 4-star, because it felt so real to me in every other aspect, and I think that's why the love thing stood out more, because everything else about this book felt like, okay, she peeked a little bit too much into my life. Why? I'm in this picture and I don't like it. Everything else about this felt so grounded and so real to me, from the way that she talked about my dude. But I ended up really enjoying it. Like I said, high 4-star. The only reason it didn't hit 5 was because of the love thing, but it's good. I loved it. I had a really great time with this, and that's good for me because the new book that's coming out, Never Been Shiv, which actually just came out, I think, the day after my birthday or 2 days after my birthday. I was really interested in it when I read the synopsis of it, and this had been on my TBR for a while, so glad to get it off, glad to own it. This was a good instinctual buy for Chey, but I hope that's a good indicator that I'm going to love the new book that captured my interest as well. I have got to balance you more. I'm gonna make people motion sick. I just want to make people sick because of who I am. I don't want to make them motion sick. Like, I know that I'm sick, bro, but what I am working on right now. So, like I told you in last night's update, I was struggling to get through We Eat Our Own, and you are still jiggling like a Polaroid picture. That makes no sense. But I had to take breaks in between reading that book, and so I picked up my next book. And I was like, I need something light, I need something airy, I need something that's going to be fun in order to read in between, because I was reading like 10, 20 pages, and then going to this book, and then going back and reading 10, 20 pages. Also, and Jan, I know I'm edging. I haven't talked about Adelaide yet, but I will. I just don't have the physical book here. It's at my house, which I'm going to in a little while, but I'm waiting on your present to get here. Part of the present. And then I'm going to go to my house, and then I will talk about it. So anyway, the book that I was reading in between that, take a hint, Danny Brown. I am loving this so far. Zaf, are you kidding me? I love this guy. I'm already obsessed with him. I'm 80-something pages in. I am so obsessed. I love Dani Brown. She, relatable character academically, and her sass, her snark. I love her personality. But Zaf, oh my god. Grumpy golden retriever. Like, golden retriever inside, grumpy outside. He is that perfect combination of Doberman yet golden retriever that I just slap up. That, I don't like the way that I said that. That I don't want to say slurp either. That I just go hog wild for. Let me just put it that way. The way that he talks and the way that he thinks about her, yet while also maintaining some semblance of his sanity until he just gets on the edge of the verge of just cracking and going feral. It's the good stuff, mamma mia. I love it. The other book that I am now going to be working on, which, by the way, I'm still reading Bat Eater on my phone, and I want to finish Vera Wong, the second Vera Wong book, because those are two library holds that I have on my phone, but they're going to renew soon, so I want to finish that in this vlog. I'm also going to be working on A History of Fear. Wow, look at those fingerprints, baby. I was originally reading this on my phone as a library hold, but then for my birthday, I got a physical copy, so I have transferred into the physical copy where I was, and I'm on page 44 in the physical book. I am really liking this so far. I think it's going to be nice to juxtaposition with Dani Brown, just going back and forth, while I'm reading the two library holds on my phone. I think I can finish Dani Brown today, considering that I read 96 pages last night with ease. The day is kind of busy today. I am getting Jan's present, and then I am going back to my house, and I have to work out today. I'm going to work on some editing, I'm going to work on some reading, and then tomorrow, okay, let's talk about this. I was originally planning on doing a 24-hour readathon somewhere throughout this vlog. Wow, I sound so much more put together now that I'm not talking about books. Why can't I put together a coherent thought? One singular coherent thought, madam, please? And now I have one. I was originally planning on doing some kind of 24-hour readathon in this video, just so I can, like, read as much as possible. And because it would kind of act as a little mini cramming vlog, a little mini cramming part of the vlog, I should say, which Jan is also known for. So, because I work out on Mondays, typically I like to do big workouts on Monday and Fridays, and then I just do, like, various little workouts sprinkled in between the rest of the days. Because of that, I go to bed earlier on Mondays just because I'm so tired. And I was like, well, so a readathon's not going to work on that day just because I know that I'm going to be exhausted. It's not going to work. And I want to actually try and stay up for the full 24 hours, not just do the timer method. So I planned it for Tuesday. I was like, Tuesday's perfect because Monday I can get a good night's sleep. I can wake up early on Tuesday, then carry it over into Wednesday, because Wednesday night I am coming home. That way I can help take care of Rod while my parents do stuff and then be here for 4th of July, you know, whatever. Anyway, so I planned for doing the 24-hour readathon on Tuesday. That way, like I said, it could act as a little readathon and as part of the cramming vlog for the month. Yeah, there's just one problem with that. Tomorrow, Tuesday, when I was planning on doing it, is not June 30th. It's July 1st. Today is June 30th. So if I wanted to do a actual cramming portion of this vlog, it would have to be today. We're not going to do that. Why? We're going to do it tomorrow. And why? Because it's my channel and I said so. Any questions? Well, too bad. So we're just going to do that, and we're going to pretend like it is June, because part of my weekend was taken up by going to the emergency room, which, by the way, I don't think that I explained this. The reason I have not filmed a lot while I'm here, which, Sorry, Jan. Sorry, everyone who's expecting Jan and stuff activities, which I promise are coming. Coloring, coffee, all that good stuff. Part of the reason why I haven't vlogged so much here is because we've been busy. Whenever I'm at my parents' house, I usually come and stay and help them with stuff around the farm and around the house, tasks and stuff like that. So I've been busy with that. And then also we had to take my mom to the emergency room. So, you know, that kind of took more precedent than anything going on here. She's fine. She will be fine. It's just she's got like a foot injury. She's got a foot injury, but she will be fine. And yeah, but it was scary for a little bit there. At least scary for me. Paranoid for me, the only daughter. So I'm back at home. I have my Stitch cup because Jan themed. I also love Stitch. Look, my watch even kind of matches the Stitch aesthetic. Love that for me. I'm gonna work out. I really want to be outside in the sun right now, but it's so hot and humid that it's probably not healthy for me to do that. So I'm gonna work out, and then I'm gonna sit down and read and edit. Sounds like a good day to me, even though I can't be out in the sun. I want to be out in the sun. But if I go out in the sun, then my body's gonna get stressed, and I'm not gonna want to work out, and it's just gonna be gross, and it's gonna be bad. But the lizard in me wants to go to the sun. It's hot, Chey. It's hot and it's humid. It's hot and it's humid even sitting in this house. Someone stop me. No surprise, I have no self-control, so here we are. I'm just gonna sit out here like 20 minutes and just laser myself. The sun is my favorite laser. This is very anti-Jan core, but I gotta be true to me. I gotta have my lizard time. Okay? Okay. Workout is done. We moved our body, we moved our mind, and now I am changed. I am cleaner. I have my post-workout snack. I have a vlog on, actually, Olivia's vlog, her Read It or Unhaul It vlog, episode 7. That perfectly fit the entire runtime of my workout from start to finish, which is wild. I don't think I've ever had a video do that before, like perfectly start and then perfectly end. Wild. Go us, Olivia. And I have a stack of books in front of me. The tentative plan for the rest of this vlog, plus 3 books from my library on my phone. Let's talk about them real fast. Actually, I decided I don't want to talk to you about them real fast because then that would be a spoiler alert. I will tell you, I'm thinking of starting either Pack Up the Moon or The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue tonight. Besides, because I like to have about 3 books going at a time because I know I'm going to finish Danny Brown tonight. I just have a feeling that I am. So then I'm going to need to swap between one and A History of Fear. Because I think A History of Fear will probably be the next one that I finish because there's so many short chapters and it seems to fly by. So I might start both. That because I know Pack Up the Moon is going to make me sob. And so it might be nice to have Invisible Life of Addie LaRue to swap between. And then have Vera Wong on my phone ready to go if both of them get too heavy. Yeah, spoiler alert, I'm reading The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Yes, Jan. Yes, she sent it to me for my birthday. I legally have to read it. She was like, you need to own this. So I need to read it because that's Jan-conography. Janin canon. Jan, listen, if you ever build a ship and it has cannons, that's what you should call them. The Janin cannons. I'm gonna eat my snack and read now.
I also didn't love the fact that Theo kind of like cosplays as a horror person. Give me a break. Get over yourself.
It's 9 p.m. I am in my cozy blanket. I'm in my cozy hoodie. I am ready to read a little bit. I've got Oblivion remastered ambiance going on, just walking through Oblivion, and I know that I'm gonna finish Take a Hint, Danny Brown tonight. I am absolutely devouring it. I sat out on my porch earlier. You saw some B-roll of me reading a little bit of A History of Fear and Take a Hint, Danny Brown. Danny Brown just keeps getting more and more perfect. The book. I mean, yes, Danny Brown herself as well. But the book, I'm in so many of these pictures and I kind of love it. Just so many of these things, I'm like, where's the man that needs to think that about me? Where's my Zaf? But I love him. I love him so much. I love Danny so much. I'm having such a good time. I'm in such a romance mood, which never happens for me. Who am I? I don't know. But I'm enjoying it. I'm having a great time. So we're going to finish it tonight. I need to get in bed a little bit early because I'm going to try and wake up at Jan time. 4:30, 5. Probably 5. Let's be honest. Probably 5. Probably going to make myself a little bit of French toast. Or eggs. I'm not sure yet. Because then the plan is to go to Dunkin' and get Jan's signature drink, which is already going to be sugary enough, and then go around town and start getting parts of her present to work on. So, not total spoilers, but I have part of it right here, but tomorrow I need to go to town and get some more of it, and then I will be able to listen to the audiobook of Fear the Flames. Surprise, Jan! I got the audiobook from my library! I don't know what that was. We're gonna get back to reading. I'm awake, and it is 6:20. I know. But I didn't go to bed till about 1 a.m. because I was up finishing Take a Hint, Danny Brown, which was 5 stars for me, by the way. I absolutely loved it. I love Zaf. I love Danny. I think that they are a really great couple. I definitely felt the chemistry was more, the pacing of the chemistry was better suited than Love in the Time of Serial Killers. I like the third act conflict. I like the resolution. Just amazing. Amazing. Again, a lot of I'm in this picture and I don't like it. So yeah, I'm so glad I read it, and now I see why some of my friends like actual favorite book of the series and one of their favorite books in general. So now I just need to read the third one, and I'm very curious about it. So I'm a little bit upset that I did not wake up earlier. I can't be too upset because I needed rest if I'm gonna stay up as long as possible tonight. Am I actually gonna stay up to 6:30 reading though? No, I am gonna sleep. But it's just I want to stay up as long as possible tonight. I'm up, I had breakfast, and I am sat. While I'm eating breakfast, I'm going to put on some booktube for inspiration for this readathon. And I probably will, like 20 minutes into it, if I'm not done eating, we'll go ahead and start the timer. Because the first thing I'm going to work on is A History of Fear and then Bat Eater. Because it needs to be returned to my library in a few days. And I really want to read it for this readathon, so I think we can do it. I think we are gonna do it. Also, the irony of Jan waking up this morning at 4:30 when I was like, I wanted that to be me. I wanted to be you. Why couldn't we have swapped places? You wake up at 6:30. I'm sorry, Jan. I feel like I've psychologically failed you. But that's fine. That's fine. We can't all be perfect. Breakfast. 8. Mental demons. Not vanquished, but timer going. So now I'm going to read about 50 pages of A History in Fear, I think, and then I'm going to read some more of Kylie Baker, and then I think it's time. I think it's time. I think it's time. I think it's time. There's a lot of heavy reads in this vlog, so I need to start something. Maybe I'll read a chapter in the book swap because it's just a light, kind of fluffy romance. I don't know, we'll see, but I do know that I'm going to start with this and Kylie Baker, so let's get going with that. I temporarily paused the timer because we just hit the first hour mark of this 24-hour readathon. Hell yeah, it passed by quicker than I thought it would, and in a couple hours I'm going to have to head into town and run some errands, but I feel like I'm making good progress so far. I read 15 more pages in A History of Fear, it's laying down there, and I have started reading The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I am 40 pages into it. I'm liking it so far. I'm intrigued. I have ideas about where this is going, what actually happened, and what's going to happen, but I'm invested. I am a little bit lagging, but I don't blame that on the book. The writing is beautiful. I can feel my eyes aching. Like, I need sleep. So I think I might take a nap this afternoon when I get back from town because I'm feeling a little bit more awake now that I've gotten through the slog of the early morning hours, which is wild because I usually wake up at like 6 or so anyway. I think it's just because I have stayed up. Yeah, the past 3 nights in a row, I've stayed up past midnight reading, so my body was finally catching up with me there. I think I'm going to keep reading this, maybe read another chapter or two, and then swap over to something else just to get my eyes on something different. We're about to go to town to run some errands. I got changed. I know. Shocking, right? And it's not a band t-shirt. I'm trying to channel a little bit of Jan, because she doesn't always wear band merch. She actually has, like, nice, normal clothes, and I am a human, so I own some of those. Rare ones, but I do own them. So I just put on a sunflower crop top that I think I snagged from Forever 21 or something when they were going out of business in DC, and my jeans, regular black jeans, and my black shoes. So it's mainly only this shirt, but there was an effort, and effort matters. So we're going to town, and our first stop is going to be at Dunkin' to get Jan's signature butter pecan iced coffee with cream and sugar, of course. I've never tried it, so this will be my first time. And why I did not have coffee this morning. Is my eye red? No, bro, you just need to sleep. Then we're going to go to the dollar store for reasons untold. Then probably Big Lots. And then a local thrift store, again, for reasons untold. And while we are driving, I'm going to be listening to the audio for Fear the Flames. I realized I have a lot more library loans than I thought I did, that Jan wanted me to read. So we really need to read. I might have to carry this over till Thursday. Anyway, let's go to town. Let's stop dilly-dallying. Bye. I got the goods, y'all. I got the goods. I conquered my fear of the drive-thru. Look at me. Wow, look at me. Proud of me. But I got the goods. We're gonna try it. Jan, if this sucks, I'm blaming you. I don't want you to see me drinking, so you're just gonna see my eyes. That is surprisingly good. Okay, Jan, you won extra brownies. You won extra brownies, because this is... I think I just found a new drink to have besides a mocha. Fun fact about Chey, I make my own coffee at home, and so whenever I go out, I don't really know what to drink. And this car is gonna park right beside me, aren't they? I've got Jan's curse. They came and literally parked right beside me, and I will show you how empty this parking lot is in a second. Brother. Look how empty this whole parking lot is. Look how empty. But but fun fact about Chey, I never have like coffee orders wherever I go. I just get a mocha because I didn't drink coffee the first time that I went with friends to go get coffee, and I was about to go to college, and I was like, well, people are probably going to want to get coffee, right? And so I need to have like a coffee order ready, even if I don't really drink it. And I love hot chocolate though, so my friend was like, get a mocha. It's basically coffee hot chocolate. And so that has just been my go-to order at every single coffee shop I ever go to, because I don't know the different flavors and the serves. It's kind of like sushi. I can't have a separate flavor palette in my head for each individual thing, so I just need a safe item. But Jan might have made me a believer. I'm a believer. Shrek. Okay, we're gonna go in the dollar store in the Big Lots, and my hair looks disgusting, even though I've been showered. It's just the humidity. It's the humidity. So Big Lots was a bust. I was gonna make a joke of how it's a big butt, but then I was like, I found some stuff that I wasn't planning on getting, but also works, so it kind of makes up for it. And anyway, it's not the main heart of what I'm sending, so it's fine. It's just that I'm like, I kind of wanted to send that, but it'll be fine. Next stop is thrift store, which is the all-important stop. Security. What's up, my cool cats and kittens? My life is in shambles. We are about 13 hours into the readathon, and I paused the timer so that I can eat dinner. There's no way that I'm going to stay awake till 5 a.m. I already have a headache. Maybe because I didn't really eat a proper lunch and I haven't eaten dinner. So I'm about to eat some supper right now and watch some booktube. And then I'm going to get back to reading. I'm going to finish A History of Fear. I am 2 hours away, so about like an hour or so in the audiobook from finishing Fear the Flames. And I'm working on Jan's present right now that I fear may have to wait until morning because I'm already tired. But again, with the headache. But it's looking good so far. I'm happy with it. So I actually think I'm going to kind of scoot it over to the floor just because it involves sharp objects that I don't want to get involved with right now. Then I'm going to finish A History of Fear, and I'm going to keep reading Addie LaRue as much as I physically can, because that is one book that I'm like, I gotta finish it. And I'm also going to read Cora Badier, Cora Zung. God, my Mandarin is non-existent right now. And Pack Up the Moon and all that good stuff. You know the drill by now. It's done. It's done, and I'm so tired. I don't think I'm gonna read Addie tonight. I think I'm gonna get in bed and read my library books on my phone until I pass out and go to sleep. Why did I think doing a 24-hour readathon on a day where 3 days in a row I've stayed up way later than I should have was gonna work? It won't, Chey. But I finished this, and this is... See, my brain wants to say like 4 stars, but I'm feeling 5 stars, so 4.5 star. But I think it's my health feelings that are making it 4.5 instead of 5, so just keep that in mind. I do still have a slight headache, even though I'm feeling better. I'm tired. So, in fact, I might not even read it all tonight. I might just go to bed and then try to get up early. I don't know. I have so much more left to read. And a couple more days. See, I wanted to finish this vlog by Thursday, that way I could have it edited and up by Jan's birthday. Don't know if that's gonna happen. So maybe we'll just read until I can't, and then I gotta edit and stuff like that. Should I get to the point? A History of Fear. Wowzers. The author lives up to their last name. Dumas. Crushed it. I get the ending. Like, I think I remember Jan talking about, like, the ending was, like, a 5-star ending. I could just be putting words in her mouth. I don't know. 5-star ending, at the very least. And very clever. It can ground kind of slow at first, but then the last 100 or so pages, like the last 150 so pages, just very much could not put it down, just hooked right in. I was hooked all along in this story, but it really picked up the pace with the last 150 pages. And I love the use of mixed media in the narrative. It helps with the pacing, it helps with the world building. I eat that stuff up, especially in like a horror or like a thriller. Good soup. I love any kind of demonic story. I love any story about a devil, especially about folkcraft and folklore and how it has to do with society and the psyche and society psyche. Good soup. So I was bound to love this. I knew it from when I first heard about it. I knew it when Jan was reading about it and talking about it. I knew it. And so I'm glad that I got this for my birthday because, wow. I'll read this again. I know that I'll reread this and I'll go back and annotate it. There was something that I picked up on, even in my brain-addled state, which a lot of people probably have picked up on, but no one tell me. Let me feel special. So, a part of... How can I say this without too many spoilers? There is someone that the main character is talking about, that he's reading a journal that this person wrote, and he says that as he notices the journal entries go on, that they get less detailed in their description of the days and interactions with certain other people. And if you pay attention to the play-by-play of what's going on in here, the same thing is happening with our main character. I had pages picked out, and then I shut the book and totally forgot about it. Oh, and I flipped right back to it. Listen, some weird stuff has been happening around here lately. Like, my bed moved last night. And I don't mean that it just, like, creaked. I mean, I was laying there like this, and it felt like someone sat down and, like, shifted it. Like, someone just, like, plops down and, like, shifts your bed back. So, the descriptions, like, page 28, we get, halfway down the lane, the devil's advocate emerged from the shadows like a dark surprise. I had imagined a dusty little hole in the wall, but the bar was trendy and industrial, fronted by a wide-arched window and black barn doors that led into a high-ceilinged room of beams and wood. The walls of exposed stone and brick reverberated the chatter of mostly middle-aged patrons. A pair of young men commanded the steel-top bar. Blah, 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 blah. But then, towards the end of the book, what you get instead, within the last 40 pages, you get, it was already dark when I got there. The sky a deepening smear of indigo and blue. I set out along the path, lined on the left side with the high wall of sage scrub and open, on the right to the vastness of the sea. The path was all but deserted, bearing the last few sight seekers back to their cars. And I was like, I see what you're doing. Less and less detail as it goes on and on and on. We are seeing the cycle here. So I love that for me. Wow. So glad I read that. Definitely one of my top contenders for the year. And speaking of top contenders for the year, I think it's time to stop edging you. I think it's finally time to talk about her. What to say about Adelaide? Jan, it's your fault. I love this book. I love it a lot. Will I read it again? Maybe in the distant future, because I did. Did I cry while reading this book? No. I closed it, I put it away, and then I sobbed in my bed before I fell asleep, like a normal human being. I did not heed Jan's warnings about how painfully relatable that this was gonna be. The bookish feelings, the friendship, also the betrayals of girl friendships. I love girls being girls. I also just love actually good, healthy friend groups. But the self-sabotage, the trauma bonding, the trauma in general, the feeling of like feeling cursed that you're never going to be able to be loved in the first place or be loved again because you're ruined in certain ways and it's just a cyclical self-sabotage. I'm in this picture and I hate it. I hated it. Like, there were so many moments in here that I was just, yikes, ma'am. I'm looking at me. The call is coming from inside the house, Adelaide. 5-star for me. I'm so glad that I got this recommended. I'm so glad I own it. So glad I read it. Thank you to Ashlyn again for gifting it to me for the holidays last year. I will also say I saw the ending coming. The ending made me happy, but I wish we had gotten more fleshing out of it too. We had been through so much trauma and so much badness. I wanted the good stuff. Like, I wanted some good moments because I saw the person coming. That's all I'll say, so it won't be too much of a spoiler. But throughout the book, whenever person was mentioned, I was like, yeah, that's what's gonna happen. I see it coming, and I was absolutely right. And I'm glad that I was right, because I was like, yes, girl, finally. But also, there were moments where I was just like, girl, I get it, but also I don't get it. Very much, he does not show up for you. You acknowledge that, and yet it's self-sabotage, but trauma is a hell of a drug. I did appreciate the parts from Rory's perspective, though, to, like, get into his mind. I wish that we would have had a little bit more of that, because I like that it cast people in a very gray light. He was more leaning towards the darker side. But I like that we got some of the meshy in there, because the truth is that life is meshy and not easy. And so sometimes people are villains, sometimes people are not. It depends on the day, it depends on the circumstance. You know, it depends on the eye of the beholder. But I love this book. I will think about it a lot, especially in regards to how much I relate to Adelaide, because it gives me hope to be loved for the future. Maybe? We'll see. If Adelaide can get loved, loser. Maybe so can I. I gotta go wash dishes first. Ew. And then I'm gonna go to bed and just read on my phone. Probably should not read Bat Eater before bed. It's 1 a.m. I have read absolutely nothing today because I ended up having a battle with flies. Let's just put it that way, so I won't trigger a lot of you. You won't have to go through the same traumatic realization that I did. Potential traumatic realization. Everything's fine. Just check your coffee makers. I just finished Jan's present, and it is 1 a.m. It's not my best work. I'm sorry, Jan, in advance. But the heart is there, and it's goofy, and it's fun, and it's silly, so I'm happy with it. It turned out a lot better than I initially thought it would, and now I have to finish doing the rest of the present. The big kahuna is done, but now I need to write her letter, and maybe I won't do that. Maybe I'll let her do it. You don't know what I'm talking about, but because I don't know what's to go up, so I don't want to say too much, but I have a thing that I could do myself, or I could let her do it. I'll have to ponder. Either way, I'm going to write her letter now. Hopefully be in bed by 2 a.m. Maybe. Good morning. It should have been the end of this vlog a while ago, but guess what? It's not, so you're stuck with me. I don't remember the last place that I updated you, but I have read some more since then. What have I finished? I don't even know what I've finished since the last time I talked to you because I don't remember the last time that I talked to you. But I will tell you that last night I finished Bat Eater and Other Names for Corazon. I still don't know what the inflection is on the Z. Stop it, Chey. I read Bat Eater by Kylie Baker, and I finished it last night at 1 a.m. Chey has had a bad habit this week of just staying up past midnight to actually read books, and I had to finish it because my hold was about to run out at 6 a.m., and 41 people were waiting on it, so there's no way I was going to be able to renew it, and my other library card didn't have it, and so I was like, okay, it's now or never, and I have to finish this for the Jan vlog, so I did it. And I absolutely loved it. It was nearly 5 stars. Part of me wants to give it 5 stars because it is the only book to actually unnerve me in a long time. Like, the descriptions of the monsters of the shadows, the pacing of it, talking about the footsteps and things running, just the actual, like, it actually embodied the very few things that actually unnerve me in horror movies and horror media in general. I thought it did horror very well. I thought the story was interesting. I really liked the representations of culture, both good and bad. I loved learning more about the culture. I loved all the characters. I was actually sad at the different deaths, even though, like, I could see some things coming. Like, you know, like a train, ironically, you can see a train coming. I saw some things coming, and I was just, no, the entire time, hoping for a different outcome. However, the ending sort of fell flat for me. I feel like if it was 100 more pages, it could have fleshed it out, because I feel like the pacing just kind of got off kilter towards the end. Things were wrapping up a little bit too quickly, and it didn't feel like that angst was matching the angst that was set at the beginning. Maybe angst isn't the right word, but the tension set at the beginning of the book. So the ending felt a little cramped to me. I understand the ending, and I like the ending, but I wish it didn't feel quite as cramped. I wish it was a little bit more expanded upon, because up into an incident with a car, I thought it was great. Well, actually, no, at a dinner, I started feeling like it was a little bit cramped. From that point on, I wish it had been a little bit more paced out, but I still really liked it. I still had a great time. I will say, and that's the only reason that I knocked off, like, half a star for it, which is basically saying nothing, but I loved it otherwise. The horror elements, everything else that I've already said, and it gave me trauma flashbacks because of the description of a certain scene involving a car. That's all I'll say. No spoilers, but yeah, that was not fun for me to read about. The other gore and stuff, it was a little bit ick, but, like, nothing terrible. The book was a little bit uncomfortable for me in general, just because I have had my own personal interactions with crime scene cleaners and just that whole world in general, and so that was a little bit rough for me to read about, a little bit raw for me to read about, but the gore and stuff itself, it was fine. I'm definitely gonna get a physical copy to have in my library very soon, as soon as I can. But the next books that we are working on today, because it is the 4th, and so I am home with my parents. We don't really celebrate the 4th, not really as a holiday. It's another work day. And so Jan had this idea where she wanted to do a little 24-hour readathon, and so I said, hell yeah. So me, her, and Tiffany, I don't know if Tiffany's doing the 24 hours, but Tiffany is joining us. All 3 of us are doing, like, a little mini readathon for today. Did I finish the other 24-hour readathon? Not technically. I mean, yes, I did, but also I paused it when I went to bed, and so I still had 7 hours left, and then I just didn't bother with it. So this is kind of my redo. This is my casual 24-hour readathon. Am I actually going to stay up for 24 hours? No, I've already been staying up way too late this week, but I am just going to try and focus on reading as much as possible today. I'm counting Bat Eater as my win for today, since I stayed up till 1 a.m. technically reading it. I also got Jan's present sent. The things I'm going to be working on today, my library holds, I'm going to be working on Vera Wong, because it's due in 4 days now, 3, and I'm going to be working on The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I hope to finish this today. Will I? I don't know, but that's the goal. I also started on Pack Up the Moon. I don't know that I'm going to finish this by the end of the vlog. I'm going to try, but this is one that it's a super depressing read. And so I'm definitely going to have to take my time with it. I've read a couple chapters into it, and that's all I'm going to be able to read at a time. The other thing that I'm working on, hold on, I have to hide the location so I don't get doxxed. Home Before Dark, Riley Sager, Jan's favorite Riley Sager. I am a little bit into this, like 50 pages. I'm like 50 pages into a bunch of these books, actually. If I am 50 pages into Pack Up the Moon, then I am like 50 pages into all of my Jan current reads. And that's wild. No, I'm only 24 pages into Pack Up the Moon, so I need to really read on that today. Maybe my goal will be to read half of that today. But we're going to be working on Home Before Dark, Addie LaRue, Vera Wong, and then there's another book that Jan recommended to me that I have checked out from my library. What is it? I don't remember, but I'll tell you about it when I actually read some more in it. I read the first chapter, and I am interested. I texted her and I was like, hey, what's a book that you would be interested in seeing me personally read? So that's the one that I'm reading. I will come back to you with an update when I actually have one on that.
You're a bag of nothing. Proves that. To the future. Here to the future.
It is that day, ladies, gentlemen, all configurations of being. It is Jan's birthday. Happy birthday, Jan. It's 10 p.m. and I'm just now making this update. Hell yeah, but I have a good excuse because I've been invested in the invisible life of Addie LaRue. And Jan read me right, as she usually does. I am loving this. I have been absolutely devouring this. Have I already read over like 200 pages of this today? Yes. Did it help that I managed to get a skip the line library loan for the audiobook yesterday at almost the stroke of midnight? Yes. So I've been alternating between the audiobook whenever I'm doing other things and actually sitting down to read it. I read faster than the 3 times audio speed, so I've just been absolutely reading, but I'm trying to slow down and actually enjoy it, not just like speed read it. I want to give you some more updates. I want to let you know the plan, because this is not just going to end on Jan's birthday. I have stuff I'm in the middle of reading, okay? And I'm enjoying what I'm reading. I'm reading super fast. I'm reading super good things, and so I want to keep it going. I'm going to finish this tonight, come hell or high water, because I'm on 339 of 442, and it's a Golden Chey rule that if I get within the last 100 pages of a book, I have to finish it that same night. So I am currently reading The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I'm reading Blood Like Mine. I'm reading Mayfly. I'm listening to Fear the Flames, which I have 2 hours left on, and I am reading Pack Up the Moon. Those are the ones that I'm going to finish in this vlog. This I'm going to finish tonight. Mayfly I might very well finish tonight. Probably not. I have like 200 something pages left in it, but it was going by pretty quick. I know this one for certain though. I will definitely probably finish Mayfly and Fear the Flames tomorrow because it's only 2 hours. But yeah, Blood Like Mine and then Pack Up the Moon. Finishing all these as fast as possible would be ideal. But I am going to try and get in bed early tonight since I've been having sleep deprivation. But, say lovey. Say lovey. In true Jan fashion, too, I tried to honor her intentions by not going out in the sun much today because vampires, you know. But I did sit on my porch for a little while and read a bunch of Addie. I am absolutely loving this. I'm relating a little bit too hard in all the most painful ways. More so to Henry than Addie in the beginning of this book, but now more and more Addie and also Luke. Hello? 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 That's all I have to say. They're like, he's sketchy. Walking red flag. I'm colorblind. And so, I don't know what to tell you about that one, Chief. But I got a bunch of housework and stuff done today. I was very productive, even if it wasn't me being outside. Yikes. But I'm feeling good. I'm reading so much. I haven't had a bad book so far. But I am a bad bitch. Okay. I'm getting a little loopy. I'm gonna go back to reading. And I'm actually probably going to finish this as fast as possible while my computer is updating. And if I don't go to bed after finishing this, then I might put on Fear the Flames and color for a little bit. Or if I start to feel my attention waning, I'll put on the audio for this and then color. But I gotta color tonight because it's a Jan vlog. Y'all probably getting sick of me talking about Jan, but it's a Jan vlog, so deal. I've finished it. I have finished the dang thing. Okay, where do I begin with that isn't a spoiler? First of all, I loved it. The ending, how to talk about the ending without spoilers. I would not have felt the same way about the ending as our girl Addie. I would have been fine. I would have been fine with the circumstances. I understand the feelings. I understand where she's coming from and all that jazz, but a girl would have been more than content because that's what a girl wanted from the beginning, and that girl is me. Now, does that say some things about me? Sure. Do I want to go into what those things might be? No. But it certainly says something. But I understand, and I am very intrigued. Is this the book that apparently the new book is like set in the same world or something like that? This is my first V.E. Schwab book, by the way, and wow, what a banger to start out with. This was really fun. I loved the entire multitudes of worlds contained within this, jumping back and forth between time periods. It felt so effortless. I don't want to say flaws because there's flaws in everything, and that's what makes it great, but it felt so effortless. It felt so natural. And once I got into the story, it really flowed super well. I loved our main characters. I loved that the side characters were brought in to the point that they needed to be. It never felt like anyone stayed for too long, which is really ironic considering this book, or masterful depending on the planning and the pacing. But I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. Will I reread it later in life? Yeah, most likely, if 5 stars rounded up from like 4.75, just because I'm like, I would have done things a little differently, but that's Chey's personal opinion. But I absolutely love this. Did it want to make me cry? Yes. Have I cried? No. Because I'm not a coward. The talks around grief, the talks around loss, especially around time running out and also time seeming to stretch forever, and how everything is infinite but also very finite. Girl, I ate that up. Girl, I've lived that up. So I love that. Did I talk to you about Home Before Dark? Did I talk to you about this? I finished this. Did I talk to you about it? Did I talk to you about Vera Wong's? I don't remember what's going on anymore. I finished Vera Wong last night, by the way. Vera Wong's Guide to Snooping on a Dead Guy or whatever. It was good. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Like a lot of people, I didn't love it as much as the first one. Something about it just felt a little bit more cramped to me, but the messages that it gave were extremely important, especially if someone who did internships regarding awareness of the issues mentioned within that book and did some work on it in college. Like, it hit close to home and stuff I care about, so I appreciated the dynamics between all the characters. I appreciated the cameos from characters from the first book, because I didn't feel like they got too shoehorned in there. I felt like they actually fit, and I felt that they were relevant to what was going on. They slipped in when they needed to be and stuff. But the first one kind of suffered from this for me, and the second one, it felt more so. It felt a little too obvious, and I had to, like, suspend my disbelief. The whole shtick of, like, oh, but if she finds out that I did this and I killed him, oh boy, I'm done for. It's like, we know that this is not what happened, because that's what they did in the first one. That was the setup and the play along for the first one. And so reading it with pretty much every single chapter from a different character in this one just felt like, okay, we get it. We get it. You're guilty about something, but it's not the thing. So that was a little tiresome, but I think it all came together very well. I love Vera. The social media aspect, as Jan also talked about, was a little bit tiring, but I think that's just because I have so much involved in social media, but it was fun seeing her trying to figure that out and stuff. But overall, I really liked it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a great sequel. And if I don't stop seeing Hemingway mentioned in every single thing that I have been reading lately, I swear to you, Hemingway has been mentioned in pretty much every single thing I have read for this whole thing, and it's weirding me out. I was like, oh, Addie is free, and then sure enough, he's like, there's a part where the guy's like, oh, have you read Hemingway? And she's like, yeah, but I thought Colette was clever. I can't escape this man. I can't escape him. He's everywhere. So, I talked to you about Did I talk to you about Home Before Dark? Well, I'm gonna make it short, in case that I already have. Home Before Dark. I think I did, because I remember talking about this as my great first Riley Sager book, right? Right? Chey's gonna go through the footage tomorrow, because Chey needs to get to work. And then we're gonna figure it out. But wow. Banger after banger in this. I think I'm gonna put on Fear the Flames for the next quarter of an hour, because it is 11:44. And I'm gonna listen to some of it while I color a quick page as a nice way to wind down my night. And then I'm gonna go to bed. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And then I get up early in the morning, make some coffee, plan my workout. We're still gonna go in with the Jan vibes as long as this video is going. And we're gonna have a daggum productive day. Cool. Bye.
And what if I do want to kill everyone here?
I look up to him, letting a smile spread across my lips. Then I'll tell you to wait a few hours and I'll help. Ice is replaced by fire when his eyes break over me.
Okay, I finished Fear the Flames, and now I am making some ramen for lunch today, I should say. I liked it. I gave it 4 out of 5, and I actually sent an in-depth voice memo to the lair talking to them about it, so I'm just going to post it here with some B-roll of me generally reading, because that'll help me put in B-roll and not have to put in music. Another problem with the building block aspect, I don't buy the in-depth romance. I don't really buy the romance. Do I love them together? Oh, absolutely. Do I love both of them? I am a simp for that MMC, okay? His dialogue, top tier. I love a man that's a goner. I love a simpy, gruffy man, okay? Maybe it's my own projections onto a Jorgen Craft self-insert or something like that, but I love a simpy, gruff man. What can I say? And I love his dialogue. I thought he was great. But I don't buy the pacing of their romance. Again, I'm a slow burn AF girly. So the problem could be me. It's not me, it's you. So I'm willing to let that slide, but I just wanted to be honest about that aspect because I do love them together. I do. I love their pairing. I think that they're great together. And I know insta-love and stuff is a thing. I definitely don't think it's insta-lust or anything like that. I definitely do think they make a great pair, and I would love to see more of them together. But just me personally, I don't buy the pacing. I don't buy it. I am more willing to buy it than a lot of things that I read, though. So I will give it that. I think it was like a 6 out of 10 on the scale for making it believable romance pacing for me. So not bad, not terrible, but I don't completely buy it. But then again, I know that insta-love and love happens at all kinds of different paces and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that they love each other immediately, because they didn't. I did think that they had a good growth pattern ratio. That sounds so gross. But I think that it was paced okay. Like, I like that it showed them in transitions. It wasn't like, oh, we're enemies, and now, like, we're in love together. No. But just more building blocks, man. Give me more interactions, you know? That's all I'm asking for. This, as I said, a lot of nuggets, not a lot of bolts. So I really liked it, and then Tiffany pointed out that it's definitely more romance than fantasy, and that is totally fair. That's totally legit. I'm hoping for more from the second book, though. Just me personally. But I did love it. Or I did really like it. I love the dialogue. I loved elements of it. I liked the execution of it. That's how, let's put it that way. Jan is going to exile me. Silly me that I actually forgot to show y'all how the page turned out last night, but I'm pretty happy with it, you know? He's just a goofy little dude. Definitely was raised on Lisa Frank, if you can tell that much, but now I'm emo about it, so I did him, but then I still had a few minutes left in the chapter that I was reading, so I flipped back a page, and I also colored in this guy. This dude, he's also a funky little dude. This, you can really tell the Lisa Frank inspiration, influence. Workout is done, and I look like a knot on a log. I have my post-workout snack. I got my cozy hoodie on because for low blood sugar anemia reasons, I'm always cold post-workout. And granola, and why am I coming to you with this? Because I plan on at least finishing most of Pack Up the Moon tonight, since I'm having to take this in doses. I feel like I'm going to finish Mayfly tonight, because I think I'm halfway through it, so I think if I really buckle down, I can really finish it this afternoon, and then get a decent chunk of the way through Pack Up the Moon, and then possibly finish up Blood Like Mine, or at least get halfway through it, and then I can probably finish both of those tomorrow, and then we can be done here, and we can go up on a wrap-up, because that would be perfect, because my library books are due on Friday, and I need them for the wrap-up of this video. Duh. It's been going well so far. I am trying to, y'all see that storm earlier? Isn't it funny that to end the jam vlog, we have thunderstorms like we began? Cozy, creepy vibes, and we love it here. My brain no worky, because my body did too much worky. I'm watching Gavin, and I honestly wish I was his caster right now. Just chill voids, you know? You don't know. You have no idea what I'm talking about. I wish I was a chill void. Chey, eat and get your blood sugar back up. I have finished Mayfly, and it is bedtime. We're gonna talk about Mayfly with my buddy back there, the Bone Man. I finished Mayfly, and I have such complicated feelings on it, because on one hand, I loved the story. Let me get that out of the way. 5-star story. Story, great. Short, sweet, like a hollow point to the point. The character herself is what's got me in a tizzy. And I know that's the point, which is why it doesn't take away any points from the story itself. I know that the main character is supposed to be unlikable because it is a commentary, it is an exemplification of like, well, why can't women be monsters too? Why do they have to have like a victim backstory or something like that? Why can't they just be monstrous? And that's awesome. I fucking love that. Hell yeah, I'm writing a story like that of my own. So of course I'd be a hypocrite not to like it. And I am a little monster menace to society in times of crisis myself. So, you know, I get it. I relate. The thing with Mayfly is that I relate a little bit too hard to her because I was her in middle school. I said it. There, I said it. I was Mayfly in middle school. You know, I couldn't get up to a lot of the debauchery that she did in middle school.
And if anyone asks, I have never committed a war crime.
But in terms of finding her personality through the lives of the people with debauchery, at least like in the mind of like the me and then them, black and white of it, like I am the wolf and the rest of them are this and this and this. Yeah, baby, I also cosplayed Eminem from the 3 a.m. video for Halloween once, and I mentally, I went a little too far into method acting. You know, I thought I was a little bit too special too. You know, it happens. So I just didn't buy it because I'm sitting there like, girl, I've been through this. You're not special, babe. You're not special, babe. And I saw the train wreck coming, and the end, oh God, gutted me, but I saw it coming. I saw it coming. Not that exact way, but I was like, yep. Because she's not special, and the fact that she refused to see that would be her downfall. Because it wasn't even the fact that she thought she was special. It's that it was this canvas of, I am different to everybody else, and there's so few of people like me, and that no one will ever understand me, and so it is me versus them, and I have to blend into the them, and that is so dangerous because it's not at all true. Not everyone may be on your side, but you have to live unhinged through it, not in despite of it. Because the world is just infinitely more complicated, and you don't hold a special place in it except to the people that are within it and make up your life, which she learns in a terrible way. And I was like, man, if only you learned that in middle school, like me, I guess I'm just better. What can I say? So she frustrated me as a character just because I'm like, I've been there, girl. I've lived through it. At least those aspects of it, not the things that she actually does and stuff like that. But that's the point, and I loved it. I love reading the downfall. I loved the chaos of it. I loved the gore. I loved the horror. Hell yeah, CJ Lead. Hell yeah. I sound so contradictory in saying that I did not like her character, but that's the point. But that is the point. And it wasn't that I didn't like her. It's more of like I was looking at myself being like, oh God, yeah, I've seen this story. Hey, I've seen this one before. That was a great recommendation, Jan. I see why it's a 5-star favorite. But I will say I did lose points with the mouse thing. If you know the mouse, the pipe thing is all I will say. Why we gotta take animals into it? They didn't do anything. They didn't do anything. You deserve the train crash of whatever's happening just because you dragged an innocent animal into this. But whatever. In terms of reading other things, I'm about to go to bed on that happy note. And I read to 150 in Pack Up the Moon. I'm planning on finishing this tomorrow. I don't have to work out or anything like that. I'm just going to wake up and work on editing, work on filming some more stuff. Should be pretty easy day. Finish this and then finish Blood Like Mine, which is also going really well so far. I might read a little bit of it when I go to bed, but I don't want to read this right before bed because it's going to make me sad, but I will read something as super gory. No, it wasn't super gory. More gory-ish as Mayfly and be perfectly fine. Who would have thunk? Also, I couldn't help but thinking during Mayfly, the shock value stuff, I had to stay objective to it. I had to stay suspense, was it willing suspense of disbelief? I had to stay willing suspense of never having experience, because when you grow up with a mother like mine, even if I hadn't gone through that whole mayfly mental thing myself, I just grew up with that as a mother, so nothing shocks me, okay? Nothing. My mother is the kind of person who, when I was worried about finding fly eggs in my coffee maker, and I was like, I'm gonna get sick, she was like, well, if you start flying or buzzing around, we know what to do. And if you start getting out of hand, I'll just put some of that paper down. I won't let anything happen to you. And also, when I flipped my car to Bad Omens, literally, like, not even 24 hours after that horrific car accident, she was like, well, if anyone ever asks Bad Omens if you're a fan, that you can say, hell yeah, I flip over them. I've been very desensitized very early on. This is coming from a woman that I've literally seen throw a woman out a front door across an entire road for spitting in her face. So, all that to say, my mom is Mayfly, too? Aren't we all a little bit of Mayfly? Isn't, like, what I love about Mayfly is just the feminine rage that, again, is the point that it's not special because it's within all of us, and that is what makes it special. I don't know. It was a 5-star read, and I recommend it. And my first thought after finishing the last 3 lines, I need to get a copy of this book. So thank you, Jan. Thank you for smothering my shelves even more, but I'm so happy because that is a 5-star read. Absolutely, that will decimate me every time. I love a read that makes me think. That's what I should say, instead of being like, oh, I know it sounds contradictory. I love a read that makes me think. I love a read that makes me have thoughts, because I don't get many of those coherently. Good noon. It's literally like, just, hold on. I have a watch for this purpose. It's 11:57, so basically good noon. I finished Blood Like Mine. I sat down today after I came inside from my lizard sunning, and I finished it, which is ironic, considering that it is a book about vampires. But we'll get to that. This was a book that Jan herself, the queen herself, recommended me read. Also, another comment on Mayfly. I'm going to try to say this without spoilers, but there was a girl that was a minor part of the plot that her presence, her existence or non-existence thereof was just never explained. And I didn't realize that until I started thinking back about it, because I was like, man, I think I was a little too harsh on that book, because I really did love it. It was more the character's personality that I'm like, girl. But that presence was never explained, or the non-existence wasn't. Which is not a big deal. I'm just like, I kind of would have liked to had it explained. But anyway, I read Blood Like Mine. This is one of the books that Jan wanted me to read, and I really enjoyed it. It was surprisingly an addicting read. I'd never heard of this author before, and the premise is kind of like thriller, horror. Basically, it is a mother-daughter kind of vampire story. Spoiler alert. But it's also like, I don't want to say true crime, because it's not true crime, but thriller crime aspect. We have triple POVs of, like, the daughter and mom doing what they do to need to survive to get her blood flow, and just some people in the feds that not fans of it. It was gripping until the last page. I honestly hated to see the train wreck coming, and I appreciated how much it was a train wreck, that it wasn't happy endings for some of the characters, that there was no catharsis for some of the characters, that it was just sort of raw, and it's like, this sucks. This sucks for them. And things keep getting worse and worse, and there's no happy resolution for it, or there's no peaceful resolution for it. And I kind of like that. I hate it, but I also kind of like when that happens, because, man, that's just life. I like the writing. I love the story. It was really good pacing. Really good use of, I guess you could say, mixed media, sort of epistolary format in between the chapters. It really broke it up and also provided some context both behind and before. There was something that I read recently. Where was it? What was it? I guess, like, Addie LaRue, you read things in context and they kind of set you up for what's happening next. This did a really good job of both providing context for what you kind of just read and planting some little seeds in your brain, and then also planting seeds for the future. So, it's not Pride Month anymore, but it's Pride Month every month. But yeah, I really like that usage of it. It was good. I enjoyed it. Now, the only book that I have left to go is Pack Up the Moon. And that's it. I wanted to finish this yesterday, but the Brain Goblins were at it again. So I am also waiting on Julia to call the French. Wow. This vlog is almost done. That's crazy. I'm finishing it today. Come hell or high water. I think I'm just gonna make some lunch because I'm starting to have a little bit of a headache. I'm starting out in the sun too long. And then I'm gonna read 50 pages of Pack of the Moon at a time. That way I don't get too sad. I'm on page 150, and I've already been sad. I'm still sad. And that's why I have to take it in 50-page doses. I am loving it, though. It is absolutely beautiful. It is heartbreaking. And I turned too many pages because I was trying to break up the chapters, and I saw that the wife's birthday is the day after mine, and I was like, okay, twin. So that hit a little close. I was like, whoo. I'm loving their relationship, though. I am a simp for men who are simps. For men who just love their wives. The interspersing of the beautiful moments, the appreciation of life within the tragedy, and that life and hope still goes on. I am loving that. I am loving that. I hope the best for these characters in this book, and I like how it shows the interweaving of how grief affects everyone, but we're also focusing on Josh, like, his story of it, but people aren't shut out because of it. Like, he's very aware of the tentacles of grief, and something that I have experienced a lot with a lot of different types of grief, not just this specific type. I appreciated the discussion around the feelings of martyrdom with grief, where there comes a point where everyone else's world keeps going, but yours doesn't, and there's a sense of like, well, why aren't people checking in on me? You know, stuff like that. I don't think I've ever read another book talk about that, and that is such a specific feeling, so yeah, I love that a lot. I finished Pack Up the Moon. Literally just finished it, and I just blew all the snot off my face so you wouldn't have to see it. You're welcome. I sobbed through the entire, last 100 pages, as I knew I would. Absolutely a 5-star book for me. It made me sad to be single, and it made me feel for anyone who is married or actually in a relationship reading this book. It's just sad, no matter what. But especially as someone who has dealt with so much grief, as I've already said about this book, it represents it so well. The vast loneliness and, the pain of it that creep in a bunch of different ways. I know I sound disgusting, I know I look disgusting, so I'm gonna make this quick, because honestly, book a few words to talk about, because it is just that powerful, so it doesn't need me to elucidate or be erudite about it. But, wow. This is a book that I will think about, probably for the rest of my life. Oh, to have a love like Lauren and Josh's. Can learn a little bit from both of them, can learn a lot from it in general. To be seen and to be known is to be loved. I love the beautiful exploration of the family's journey, not just Josh's. And, yeah, how it ended. Because it wasn't an ending, if you know, it wasn't the end. But the chapter heading on the last chapter, but it made me think of all the people that I've lost, especially Lauren's last day. Oh my god, it brought me back to way too many hospital rooms. Too many memories, I should say. Not too many hospital rooms. Too many memories. Oh god. I'm so glad I read it. I'm so glad it's over. It's healthy to cry, so I'm glad that I've cried and I've got it out of my system, because honestly, I probably needed to cry for a while. We all need a good cry once in a while. So, Jan, I hate you. It's so funny. Jan has a history of just making me sob with books. The first ever Jan video I saw on my feed was the You've Reached Sam. I think I've already said that. That book made me sob, because grief does that to me. Wow. And now this. Thank you, Jan. So, yeah. Okay, that's it. I'm gonna clean myself up. We're gonna do a quick wrap-up of all these books. But oh god, my heart. Don't read this if you don't want to be broken. It's wrap-up time. It's done. We made it. The Jan vlog is over, and I am not quite as disgusting as I was previously. So let's talk about what I read, what I did, and then get the hell out of here. Now, a lot of what I read were ebooks. In fact, an interesting statistician, static? That's the wrong word. Statistic, it was right there in the word that I used anyway, because when I was going to say the original word, I then thought of the person that uses that word. An interesting fact is that most of these books were library books, but how many books were there, Chey? And if you were keeping count, shut up. It's 13. I ended up reading 13 books during this whole vlog challenge thing, which I didn't plan on But it is one of Jan's favorite numbers. So, and also, what's spookier than the number 13 besides 666? So, hello, I am very happy about that. And what I'm even more happier about was that I had no DNFs, no duds. I only had a 3-star, 1 3-star. Everything else was like 4 or 5 stars. And in true Jan fashion that I think would make her happy, most of them were library books. The rest were my owned TBR that I already own. I didn't go out and buy any books for this video. But of those 13, 8 were from my library. So like a good 2/3. 8, again, the number 8, are the books that I actually have physically. The other 5, which were all from my library, were ebooks. So 5 of the 8 that I got from my library were ebooks, and also 5 of the 13 that I read were ebooks, whereas 8 of the 13 I read were physical reads, but 3 were from the library, and numbers are hard. This is just the physical stack. Look at this whole stack. I am so very proud of myself, like actually. This is something to be proud of. And add 5 more books on top of there. This is twice the size of my head, which, as we all know, is gigantic. So, hey girl, hey, I can't be more proud. Actually, I could if I finished more, but I'm very proud with this, especially how much I loved all these books. A bunch of these were books that I've been meaning to get to for so long, and I don't just mean these. I mean the hypothetical other 5 that are also stacked on top of here. That all these books, everything I read, I've been wanting to get to for a while, or they were so relatively new to me that I was very excited about them. I'm proud of myself for staying on target, on time, on target. Because most of what I read were not only Jan inspired, but things that Jan has loved and that I've been interested in, or things that I actually asked Jan herself to recommend me to read that she wanted me to do. So Jan, I hope I made you proud. I hope that y'all had fun watching this video as much as I did reading these books, which a bunch of are going to stick with me for a very long time. And I'm surprised at how many new favorites I found in this reading stack. Jan asked me a while ago, a bunch of people tend to ask me what's my reading taste, like what, and I don't know, because my favorite books range from like Vonnegut to grimdark fantasy to Hemingway, and then The Three Musketeers is my favorite book of all time. So I'm kind of all over the place. No one can really nail me down. That's the truth. So, but I am learning what I have in taste commons with other people. So, this was fun. This was fun to do. I really like History of Fear because it was so freaking weird. I think it's going to be Love in the Time of Serial Killers, though, because that was just such a fun read. Pack Up the Moon has my entire heart, and so does Addie LaRue. Which, by the way, Addie LaRue has now become a new inside joke between me and Julia because of where Addie's from. Jan, I'll tell you about it later. This was fun, though. Maybe I'll do some more reading like my friends or something, but Jan gets first dibs, sorry. Thank y'all so much for watching. I have a bunch more reading vlogs coming soon, whatever the hell I'm reading, some themed vlogs in the works. If you like this, let me know down below, subscribe, and comment a bat emoji for Jan, for the Queen Vamp herself. Thank you everybody so much for watching. If you ain't heard it from anyone else today, I love you, love and peace.